Alright, what is happening? What is up? It is Iron Heady in the old Games Corner Classic Game Roulette, and boy howdy, has it been a hot minute since I've played this. Apollo Justice, Ace Attorney, and we're going to trial now. About to, anyway. Oh, hey there, Rock. Good to see you. Huh? Mr. Wright's not here today? He said his old foot injury was acting up. Old injury? He was all smiles yesterday. Yes, he smiled when he said we'd be fine as long as you're there, Trucy. Yes. Fine, we'll be fine. Here comes justice! I started my voice training at 5 this morning. Oh, do some now. I want to see it here. Huh? Oh, okay. Ahem. My name is Apollo Justice, and I'm fine. That sounds more like a self-mantra than voice training. I'm fine. You know what I'm saying? Hey, good morning. Yo, what's up? Hit me with the guilty verdict, G. See if I care. You just hang loose and let things go with the flow, you know what I'm saying? Not really. Walkie, don't be running your mouth like that in here. See, that's the difference between you and me and you, old man. I ain't no afraid of no cops. Real G's can't keep it real till they spend some hard time in the pen. You have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. Sounds like they both been in voice training too, Apollo. My worst fears realized. The trial's starting, and I still haven't had a real talk with my client. Court is now in session for the trial of Milwaukee, Kentucky. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Ready to rock and roll, Judge. It's him, the guy from yesterday. He's a prosecutor? It's Master Gavin's brother. Long time no see, Prosecutor Gavin. Were you taking a leave of absence? You know that little band I started in my free time? Thing is, we got real popular. I'd just say 9 to your fans when 3 of your singles go platinum, yeah? I see. To be honest, I was a little concerned. I feared that you might still be distraught over that one trial. Not to worry, Judge. I wouldn't miss this day in court for the world. It's worth even more than VIP passes to one of my concerts, yeah? How could I pass up a chance to see the true strength of the little boy who bested my brother? It was worth canceling a show or two. Understood. You may give your opening statements to the court. Before that, I was thinking, is the air in this courtroom not a bit serious? It is a court of law. There's no way to get the crowd jumping, Judge. I'm not supposed to jump. This is a courtroom. A tongue, baby. Today we play it my way. What's that noise? Sometimes you have to get up in order to get down. to prosecute it. This is crazy. The victim, Paul Maractus, director of the Maractus Clinic. The scene in People Park. He was found pulling a noodle stand. What in the world was a doctor doing pulling a noodle stand? Yes, I believe. You will only find that out by asking the defendant right here, right now. Because it's undeniable truth that he shot the victim. What do you mean undeniable? If you're to glare at anyone at justice, glare at the punk in the defendant's chair. His crime was witnessed quite clearly, you see. Very well. Please admit this witness to the court. Nine. Not yet. First, there is a little matter to be cleaned up. Could you talk without the accompaniment? I swear I could see the guitar for a second. What is it, Prosecutor Gavin? The motive, Judge. Why did the little punk do it? Why did he kill the director of the Maractus Clinic? Not so fast. The defendant doesn't have to explain that. Oh, but what if the defendant specifically requests to do so, as he did this morning? I want to give a shout out to all my homies, I believe he said. What? What is right? They always say that on a stage you should hit the crowd with speed and ferocity. Sounds like he got you good, huh? Well, this is highly unusual, but the court will now hear from the defendant concerning his motive in the crime. So, your son or the defendant, Wonky, are you? I ain't your son, old man! You step to a Kentucky, you best be prepared to step strong! You step to a public official, you best be prepared to step into jail. You've got to hand it to him. And Wonky sure is guts. It's not his guts I'm worried about. Well then, the court will now hear the testimony on the defendant's motive. From the defendant himself. I'll tell you one thing, that doctor was a quacker. Someone had to show me what's what. I was in his clinic bed a half a year ago. He messed up in my arm something bad. And then he just lets me go without a word, saying later, bye. So we gotta go get another doctor patch me up again. That was the day I done figured it out. No OG's gonna let that pass. That's why I went to his bed that night. Know what I'm saying? You're saying that you were one of the victim's patients? A lot of stuff goes down when you're keeping it real on the street, too, Dad. I tell you one thing, that doc was whack. Very well. The defense may begin the cross-examination. I can't believe this is the first time I'm hearing about all of this. Okay. Rather not waste time on this situation, let's just go straight to statements 3, 4, and 5. So you were a patient at the Maractus Clinic half a year ago. For what reason? What you might call a mark of honor. Can you explain precisely what was wrong? We had a little run-in with Rivali's family. That's when I pulled a Jake move. And ran into an ambush. Jay busted the cape right on me. According to my sources, you couldn't stand the stress of waiting. And on the run, ran into 15 minutes before the appointed time. By yourself. Hey, I was more than a match for those guys. So you were carried to the Maractus Clinic from there. Apparently he was shot in the heart. Shot in the heart! And you're to blame! You give love a bad name. Shot in the heart. And he's still alive. I catch bullets between my teeth. But I never learned how to catch them with my heart. The bullet is stopped in just short of my thumper. You know what I'm saying? I would have been golden if it weren't for that whack duck. Couldn't even take out a stupid bullet. So, as you say, the surgery was a failure. I say, that ain't all of it, Holmes. What do you mean he just let you go without a word? What do you think it means? It's whack, that's what. I'm not sure what that means, but it sounds bad. It sounds as though a doctor wished to hide his mistake. This is why he let the defendant go. He's a liar, straight up. He's a better G than me. So this bullet is still... You know it! I can still feel it! Right there in my chest, pressing up against my heart! Your words are like a bullet straight into my heart. Or something to that effect. And then, incidentally, that's from one of our hit singles. Well, that sounds like a straightforward case of malpractice. Word, J-Man. What no accident, that's for shizzle. It seems that there were issues with this doctor. Man, putting him down was like doing the world a favor. Okay, please consult your lawyer before saying things like that. Me. Chin up, Apollo. Back straight. But why did this mistake only come to light that day? It was found during the family health checkup. The family checkup? That was the wackest thing of all. Oh, it's Jay's lining up taking eye exams and all that. Better to die young and then fade away, bazoy. I'm relieved to hear. Eh? What's a relief? Og? Ah? Did your father not tell you? A bullet you carry so close to your heart, if not attended to immediately, it could kill you. What? Yes. Dr. Maractus had knowledge concerning this ticking time bomb in you. Knowledge that couldn't have saved your life. Oh wait, that's whacked! Here's proof. Your checkup report. How ironic that you would kill the one man capable of helping you. You're almost as careless as he was. Well, now that the place is open, let's get this gig started. Started? We've had enough on warm up, yeah? Time to hear from the witness. Wonky sure is quiet all of a sudden. I'm a little uneasy myself. Is this Gavin's strategy? So, you would tell us your name on the occupation. My name is Wesley Stickler. By occupation, I take it you refer to some profit society in which the unemployed, however, we must, which is commonly, and we have accepted this confusion and is not concerned, but the vagueness inherent in all, by which he means to say that he is a student. Wow. It's hard to take. I'm junior at Ivy University, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, in the Department of Science and Engineering. Filled with curiosity for all things, I spend my days in my pursuit of truth, honing my Stickler. Please direct said curiosity to the case at hand today. Very well, Mr. Stickler. Please testify to the court about what you saw on the night of the crime. You asked quite simplistically what I saw, however, my understanding in these designed to receive in blah 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 blah. Another rambler. Damn. At night, I passed through the park on my way home from shopping when I saw them. One man pulling a stand, another facing him. I saw them quite clearly. The man facing the victim was the defendant. In his hand, he held, yes, a pistol. It was pointed at the man pulling the stand. A shot! A bullet hit the man pulling the stand from the front, square in the forehead. Was there anyone else in the park at that time? I can say with 100% accuracy, there was not. The pistol witness refers to is this. The court accepts this into evidence. Very well, Mr. Justice. You may cross-examine the witness. Yes, Your Honor. Trucy, why are you staring like that at the witness? Headman. I can't help but feel I've seen him somewhere before. Let us go directly to statement number 5. Oops. Are you absolutely certain only one shot was fired? Yes, of course it was one shot. Why do you ask? Haha, a contradiction, finally. Mr. Stickler, according to the court record, the pistol was fired twice. A clear contradiction. Good eye, sir, Justice. You're cool. Real cool. Eh? You really think so? Yet there is no reason why the other shot had to have been fired that night. Meaning, this pistol came from the Kentucky family mansion, yeah? I think it's not unreasonable to assume the pistol had been fired once before that night. During perhaps another altercation? He's got a point. Judging from his smug expression, I'd say Prosecutor Gavin had that answer already before you even spotted the problem. He seems pretty confident in his testimony. We always make the biggest mistakes when we're most confident. He's got a weak point somewhere, Apollo. Find it. Right. Better give that testimony another listen. No, we do this. I think this is... Hold on a second here. The autopsy report. Here we go. Got it. Phew, if that's all of it, I think I have a chance. Is that you, reluctant, I see, Justice? Objection! Once is quite enough, Mr. Justice. Apollo, and pace yourself. This trial's not over yet. Right, look at this. The autopsy report? Is there a problem with the autopsy report? Right, a problem. Problem. Yes! The problem is the location of the injury wound. The location? You testified the killer shot the victim square in the forehead, did you not? I have already determined your angle of inquiry. Allow me to explain. It is quite simply, really. First, understand when I say square is being. What I mean by this, for example, the wavelength of the is in addition, it is rare and invisible and fallacy. Mr. Justice, yes, was your objection to these crypto protocol things? This is the big time. You are obsessed with something so small, you disappoint me. No, I'm not obsessed with something big. I mean, there's a bigger, less nitpicky problem here. Do tell. Just look at the autopsy report. The location of the entry wound was the right temple. Temple? Mr. Stickler, you said clearly that the victim was shot square in the forehead. That's a contradiction, isn't it? It is, right? Finally. Justice. Justice. Yes? Your tactics are outdated. Trying to shake the witness by injecting the trifles. Surely you haven't forgotten the fatal wound your master suffered 7 years ago? Phoenix Wright, was it? Look, I know the wound was in the wrong place according to this testimony. Your forehead. Forehead? Let us imagine you are walking through the park. You see two men facing each other, one with one pistol trained on the other. What would you do there, forehead? Well, I guess I would try to stop him. Stomp him. I didn't probably shout, "Stop!" On you, Fräulein? Me? Well, I'd probably scream, "Eek!" On you, Herr Stickler. What did you shout? What did you shout, I wonder? If the victim turned his head at the last minute, yes, thank you for jogging my memory. It sounds like an addendum to the testimonies required. As soon as the killer raised his pistol, I took action. "Seize this at once, you two," I cried with composure. The victim turned in my direction of my voice, and a shot rang out. Whereupon our cowardly killer, the defendant, appeared to have become frightened. Tossing the pistol aside, he fled from the scene. "I see. So you attempted to stop the crime." "Indeed, with composure." "Well, maybe the criminal would have fired if he hadn't shouted like that. It doesn't really matter now, unfortunately. Let us consider this new testimony, shall we? Observe the diagram if you would. The witness, Mr. Stickler, was it? Stood here. He shouted, "Oh, stop, please," or something of this nature. And the victim responded by looking in the witness's direction. If the killer wouldn't to have fired at just that moment, as we can see, the bullet would have struck the right temple as in the report. That does seem to be the case. Witness the power of a junior in the Ivy University's Department of Science. Very well, Mr. Justice, you may cross-examine the witness. Yeah. Precautions. Statement number 5. The pistol. The gun. I don't know about that, man. The murder weapon. Wait a second. Tisk, another misleading request. Yet you're so beholden to your old mode of discourse you can't see how it affects you. Come again? Wait a second. You say? A second? Are we intending to just wait here that a single second of 1/16th of a minute? That's hardly enough time to draw a breath, let alone make a statement in court. Now, how do you ask him for Mr. Justice? Yes, Your Honor? Am I to understand you are objecting to the length of a second? Yes, I mean, no! Here, just look at the pistol! Oh, just so you right there, GT. Good to see you and all. It doesn't have a single fingerprint on it. A common play made all the more common, I fear, by the prevalence of television. Criminals in these days are loath to leave fingerprints. Wait, but you said the killer just tossed the gun and ran. That's right. He didn't have time to wipe the gun for prints. Hark! It's a little girl sticking into the university student. There's a song in there. I'm not little. Then let's think like adults, shall we, Fräulein? What if the killer, the defendant, was wearing gloves? Gotta admit, I didn't think of that, Apollo. Well, Mr. Justice, couldn't the killer have been wearing gloves? I don't think so. The record of the murder weapon is very clear about one thing. The fingerprints were white, which means some trace of prints remained, which contradicts your testimony. If everything happened as you say it did, he wouldn't have time to wipe the pistol. That may be, but it does not change what I saw. The killer, the defendant, he threw down the murderous weapon from his hand and fled. And this pistol was found at the scene of the crime, strongly suggesting that this was the weapon he disposed of. It sounds solid to me. Well, forehead, any of your precious objections? What gives, Apollo? Let's see that voice training go to work. You know, I've only recently realized something. No matter how much you train your voice, it doesn't matter if you have nothing to say. What do you mean, nothing to say? Isn't it obvious from what the witness just said? Huh? Isn't what obvious? When he restated what he saw just now, he said he saw Wonky drop a murderous weapon. But that's not the same as being 100% sure what Wonky threw away. You're right! He's just confused because a pistol was found at the scene. Poor Mr. Stickler. It must be hard to be so perfect and yet so wrong. Well, it can be said that I'm quite offended. It is indeed true that one blah 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 blah. Well, we can say for certain is that the witness saw and the killer throw something. Does the defense have anything to say about this? Well, what if he threw wasn't a pistol? Then it had to be something else. At least one person on the defense team seems to be thinking. A word that's small off your pretty face, Gavin. Perhaps you can inform the court as to the nature of this something else. What did the killer throw away before he fling the scene? Knife. Is that a sword? I saw one of those on the Louis night movie last night. Great. A sleep-deprived judge. This knife was found at the scene of the crime, with the defendant's prints on it. His prints! A single piece of evidence proves two important things. One, that what the defendant threw down wasn't a pistol. Two, that the defendant wasn't wearing gloves. Indeed. Forehead. You're forgetting two other things you've just proven. Huh? One, that the man the witness saw was the defendant, Mr. Walker, Kentucky. Two, that the defendant was holding a knife with the intent of harming the victim. Indeed. Never underestimate Gavin is the lesson here. This court is of the opinion that our witness is fond of making assumptions. In that light, I believe it would behoove us to hear about what really occurred. With less assuming, please. It is always the same with you people. Mark left the house on foot, and 5 minutes later, his brother left after him. How long would it take for Mark's brother to catch up to him? Assuming that Mark never had to stop for a traffic light. Assuming, yes, that's what I said, assuming. If that were a probable situation at all. Yet here you are, assuming that my assumption is no better. What this court assumes is that the witness will testify as to what happened after the shot was fired. There's absolutely nothing I can get with this right now. I'm just gonna have to press all the statements. I could not prevent the killer from leaving the scene, nor could I simply leave the scene in good conscience. Ergo, I used my cell phone to call the police. Until the police arrived at the scene 10 minutes later, I saw no one else. Why didn't you chase the killer? He was, as you say, a killer. Of course I could have run him down, yet what would he have done when cornered? Sadly, it takes more than an aptitude for solving quadratic equations to know that. Did the testimony earlier not prove the defendant's presence at the scene? Or do we not know, also now know, that there was no one else there? It seems clear that we have our killer. Does it not? Does it not, Mr. Justice? I better find a way to take this testimony down quick. Which way did the killer run? By that time, it was clear the killer had noticed me. Naturally, he ran in the opposite direction. That would mean he ran in the opposite direction from the Kentucky mansion. Don't even think about pointing out that he was going away from his home. All he had to do was loop back once he was out of sight. How did he know that's where I was going? Oh, hey there, Red. It's been a while. Yeah. Prosecutor and Clavier Gavin. Rockstar extraordinaire. You were certainly composed for someone who had just witnessed a killing. If one is to devote one's life to the pursuit of science, one must never flinch at the sight of a little blood, nor be so moved by chemical discovery that one drops one's flask upon a lab room floor. Ooh, cool answer, very cool. So nothing strange about how he acted. Trucy looks like she has something to say. Wasn't your first thought to call an ambulance? Call an ambulance! Call an ambulance! But not for me! It can be said that I have dabbled in medicine. An injury I have witnessed, namely a single shot to the head, tends to result in death. Ergo, there was no need for me to call an ambulance. Oh, a perfect syllogism. A proof in 3 parts. Exquisite. Simply exquisite. He actually looks like he's going to cry. Can you tell us in detail about these 10 minutes? I stood in a state of heightened awareness. Anything could happen at any moment. Anyone could appear from any direction. Is that all? No one came. Nothing happened at all. I saw it all, which is to say, I saw nothing. It was late at night. It's not odd to think there would be few people around in the park. So we just stood there, watching. Not much to go on there. He's also gonna be a creeper later. Trucy, if you've got something to say, by all means, say it. I can't find a single problem with that testimony. Had enough at last, forehead. Maybe it's time to back off a bit. There's nothing fishy about that testimony at all. It appears that there are no objections to the witness's current testimony. There are any number of ways to explain the lack of print on the pistol, I assure you. Perhaps the killer really was wearing gloves which wiped the previous user's prints off. Then, after the deed was done, this fell out of his pocket as he was throwing the gun away. A mistake befitting of a small-time pumpkin, in my opinion. No! It seems we've come to the end of the line here. No, it can't be at all. How unfortunate. It seems that you weren't cut out to stand on the same stage as me. Were you, Forehead? I believe this brings the cross-examination to a close. This court will now declare a verdict for the defendant, Walkie-Talkie. Uh-oh. Hee! Trucy? Nobody move! What's the meaning of this? Who are you? There'll be no verdict in this court. Not yet. Wait, are you one of the Kotakis? The Kotakis? You mean the notorious gangsters? If you don't want to see me give the pretty little girl a new smile, do as I say. I'll join the court for 20 minutes. What? This court will not bow down to pressure from the likes of... Judge. I see little point in further abrogating this gentleman. Recess. 20 minutes, or I promise you'll regret it. Wait. How did this appear so fast? Come to the defendant lobby, Apollo. I suppose I have no choice but to join him for 20-minute recess. Bailiff, catch this mysterious man. Well, you might as well keep going. It's under an hour. Wow. Crazy. Trucy! Trucy! You move quick, Apollo. Good show, good show. Trucy, you're okay. I thought... Don't cry, Apollo. Ugh, those good-for-nothing gangsters. There's some things you just don't do on prison charges. Wait, just calm down, Apollo. Or else... What the heck is that? Surprised? This is one of my best tricks. The amazing Mr. Hat. You look marvelous, darling. He's a big hit on the stage at the Wonder Bar. Yes, I am a big hit. Ha ha ha. What do you think? Do you like it? You mean you... Trucy, there are some things you just don't do. I'm prison charges. Apollo, now is not the time to be threatening me. It's you who's being threatened here. Huh? Remember what you said to Wonky's father yesterday? You promised you'd save his son. But that testimony was rock solid. What are you suggesting I do? Look, once the judge declares a verdict, it's all over. If I can use my talent to stop that from happening, I will. Trucy, no more staged abductions, please. I'm not talking about magic, Apollo. I know when the witness isn't confident. I can perceive what he's feeling. It might not mean anything, but it's all we got. You can see what he's feeling. Think back, Apollo. Think back to the times when there was a contradiction in his testimony. All the times when there was a contradiction. Well, I think I remember them, sure. Where there were 2 times when he made statements he wasn't confident in. And each time there was a contradiction. In his hand he held, yes, a pistol. It was pointed at the man pulling the stand. Tossing the pistol aside, he fled from the scene. He said the man tossed aside a pistol. But it turned out he was unsure, and sure enough, there was a contradiction. Well, that's true, but how does that help us? Didn't you notice anything? Whenever he made a statement he wasn't confident in, he displayed a certain habit. In his hand he held, yes, a pistol. It was pointed at the man pulling the stand. Did you see it? The very moment he said the word pistol, his fingers got all tense and he fiddled with in the corner of a page in his book. How am I supposed to see that? Well, I could see it. How else do you think Danny went 7 years without losing a game of poker? What? I always sat next to Dandy during big matches. I could see what his opponents were feeling. You mean that's how Mr. Wright won all those games? It's not cheating officially. I wasn't looking at their hands or anything. And I wasn't there all the time either. Dandy's quite good at poker after all, but not good enough to go undefeated that long. Great, so he cheated. But what does that do for us? I don't believe this. You have to listen to his testimony one more time. No, scratch that. You have to watch his testimony. Perceive the truth. Watch a testimony. Perceive the truth? The only thing I'm perceiving is that I'm going to lose. Not true. Daddy said so. He said you have the power, Apollo. Mr. Wright said that? Watch the testimony. Perceive his true feelings. Is she serious? Time's up. Sorry, I can't think of any other way out of this one, Apollo. What was that she said before the trial started? Huh. Mr. Wright's not here today? He's said his old foot injury was acting up. Yes, and he smiled when he said we'd be fine as long as you're there, Trucy. Is this what he meant by us being fine? Well, methods aside, she did avoid one guilty verdict already today. Time to show this court what I'm made of. Get ready for justice! Let's do it. Apollo, you know, I'm starting to think I can do this. I knew you could do it all along. Oh, one more thing. Try to cover for Mr. Hat as best as you can. I just flew in from the coast and boy, are my arms tired. Right. Court is now back in session. Right, we're fine. I'd like to say to the young lady standing next to you, Mr. Justice. You mean me? Don't you have anything to report? Anything concerning the mysterious phantom in the silk top hat? Ah, right. Hey, don't worry about him. I settled that. You settled that? Yes, it was an out-of-court settlement, right. Perhaps Fraulein would have us believe it was nothing more than a passing dream. Ein passing dream. Ein fantastic illusion. Now you see it, now you don't. Am I right? I think he's on to me. I wish he would stop being so cool. Let us dispense with these necessities and get straight to the matter. What are your plans for a gifted witness? Right. The defense would like to request another cross-examination because I forgot to ask something. There was no issue with the witness's previous testimony. I will grant your request, however, but this court will not permit stalling for time. Understood, Your Honor. Don't forget, Apollo. When he isn't sure about something, he has a habit of fiddling with his book. We go back to statement number 3, yes? I could not prevent the killer from leaving the scene, nor couldn't I simply leave in the scene in good conscience. Ergo, I used my cell phone to call in the police. Until the police arrived at the scene 10 minutes later, I saw no one else. I'm not sure I'm qualified to watch testimonies after all. Focus, Apollo. Find his weak spot. Focus. If only it were that easy. My ears hear what he says. My eyes see his expression. Do I have to do something more? What other senses do I have? What's this? My bracelet. What's going on? My bracelet feels different somehow. I think Daddy was right. You can see it, can't you, Apollo? You're almost there. Find the weak spot in his testimony. I know this sounds crazy, but my bracelet is trying to tell me something. So you called immediately after witnessing the murder. The police undoubtedly have a record of the call. Why not check with them? Wait, Apollo. This has to be it. Wait, you mean his habit? Don't forget, Apollo. When he isn't sure about something, he has a habit of fiddling with his book. The only time he even had the book open was here. Which means this is the place to look for this habit. I don't know how I know, but I know. Know what? It's my bracelet. It's different somehow. I can feel it reacting to something about the witness. Your bracelet. I'm not sure I get this focus stuff you were talking about, Trucy, but I have a feeling that trusting my bracelet is the way to go. Okay, I just need to touch my bracelet as it reacts to the testimony. What's going on? I can see the witness's face, but so clearly, it's filling my mind. I can see nothing else, hear nothing else. Apollo, Trucy, what's happening to me? This is what I mean by focusing. Focusing. In this state, you can see everything, Apollo. Everything the witness does. That's great, but this is kind of freaking me out. Just look for Mr. Stickler's twitch, his habit. You remember it, right? Sure. When he says something he's not sure of, he fiddles with a page of his book. You got it. Right now, you're looking at the witness's face. And your eyes are sort of bugging out. Oh, okay. How was how was that game? Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. How was that? I'll bet they are. First, move your focus of attention down to Mr. Stickler's hand. Okay. His hand? You know what to look for now, but you have to be looking at the right place. She's right, I can only see his face like this. Time to try changing my viewpoint. I've actually played that game, you know. I did it because it has a cosmetic feature, which worked, especially because the character you're playing is a girl, and on the top of all that, there's a cosmetic DLC, which is pretty cool. Anyway, let's focus at the matter of hand. Perfect! Now you're really ready. Ready? For what? Ready to perceive the truth behind the twitch. Perceive? Try listening to the witness talk as you focus. Then watch for his habit. Right. You mean when he fiddles with the page. That's right. That's your signal to look closer to perceive. Find his weak spot, and I guarantee we'll be able to give him the royal flush. Spoken like a true pokerhead's daughter. I'm a magician, thank you very much. So you have to pay attention to his words and his fingers. Don't worry if you miss it, you can always try again. Right, look out, nervous twitch. Here comes justice. Oh, hello. I can see your finger moving now, buddy. I saw it. Just now, I could see it. Mr. Justice, do you have something to say? Oh, this banging of desks. It's quite bad for my circulation, you know. I get it. I totally get it. Mr. Stickler, allow me to ask you a simple question. Why did you fiddle with a page of your book just now? The very moment you mentioned your cell phone. What are you talking about? I'm curious now about this cell phone of yours. Mind if I ask a few questions? What to ask? I'd like your number, please. Mr. Stickler, tell me your phone number. Why? What number for? Why not? You have something against making friends? Hold on. What does the witness's cell phone number have to do with the case? Absolutely nothing. This is an invasion of my privacy. Seeing you grimace like that makes me wonder about your cell phone too. The witness will present his cell phone number to the court. Ah! Trucy, do you have your cell phone? Sure do. Try dialing the number that he gives us. You want me to call Mr. Stickler's phone? This is all highly irregular. Hey, my pocket's ringing. Wait, this is the phone from yesterday. Look, a cell phone. Someone dropped it beneath this tire. If the car moved, it would be crushed for sure. I wonder if it belongs to the doctor here. How strange, Mr. Stickler. Can you explain why your cell phone is sitting here in my assistant's hand? Wait a minute. What is the meaning of this? The cell phone was found yesterday in a Maractus Clinic garage. The Maractus... Why, that's where the victim lived! That's impossible! Mr. Stickler, you lied to the court, didn't you? If your cell phone is here, how could you have called the police? It's true. I didn't have my cell phone that night. That is why it can be said that I called the police from a public payphone. A payphone, so you didn't call on your cell phone after all. Just where was this payphone located, Mr. Stickler? Well, to indicate it with a startlingly high degree of accuracy, it was right around here. It's quite a ways from the park. But why did you lie? There can be only one reason. He didn't want the court to know he had lost his cell phone. Because it was found in the victim's garage. What are you saying? Mr. Stickler, you broke into the Practice Clinic garage on the night of the murder. This cell phone tells all. But that's ridiculous. It makes it sound like I snuck into this fellow's garage to commit some crime. As though I was trying to kill him. Well, Dr. Maractus was killed that night. Well, yes, but no, this line of reasoning has to be against the rules. Yes, it's true, I lost my cell phone. But you can't prove that I lost it that night. Well, Mr. Justice, if that cell phone was dropped the night of the murder, it does raise considerable suspicions as to a connection with the crime. Now it's your chance, Apollo. Connect Mr. Stickler to the crime. Oh, he's already connected enough. I just have to prove it. Well, do I have a piece of the evidence that can do the job? Can I prove this cell phone was dropped on the night of the murder? Well, we've come this far. Let's do it. Of course I have evidence. Oh, I like your swagger, forehead. Hit it. The court will see this evidence, Mr. Justice. Hit it, as they say. The evidence that proves the cell phone was dropped on the night of the murder is this broken mirror. That's a side view mirror. As it so happens, Dr. Maractus's car was in an accident that took place the night of the murder. An accident? An accident. It happened a little after 9 p.m., just outside People Park, our murder scene. Dr. Maractus's car hit a pedestrian. What are you trying to say? From the absence of a mirror, it's clear that the car was parked after the accident, which means it was parked there after 9 p.m. on the night of the murder. If your cell phone had been dropped before the car was parked in that garage, then it would have been crushed. After all, it was lying on the ground right under the wheel. Ergo, Mr. Stickler, the only time you could have dropped this in that garage was after 9 p.m. the night of the murder in the park. Mr. Stickler, you know what this means? You did break into the victim's garage that night. This is most unexpected, Mr. Justice. Are you naming the witness as a suspect in the murder of Pal Maractus? No, stop! This is too much! This can't be happening! Prosecutor! Say something! I suppose it is worth saying this. No connection has been found between Wesley Stickler and Paul Maractus. That is, other than this.
I believe our next testimony will be most revelatory. Is the witness prepared?
Yes, Your Honor. I know that face, and that's the face of guilt. At night, yes, I went to the supermarket. I must have dropped my cell phone on my way back, and when I was walking through the park, I happened to witness the crime. I saw the killer, the victim, the stand, all as clear as day. It was him. I saw the defendant at the scene. Alright. Yes, but your cell phone was lying in...
Yes, but your cell phone was lying in a garage.
Yes, well, as you can see, my model of cell phone has a defect. It is given to rolling, and it's quite a pain when I drop it alongside the road, you know.
Looks like a normal cell phone to me. In any case, Mr. Justice, the cross-examination, please.
It's funny. My bracelet didn't react at all during that testimony. His nervous habit must not be acting up. I didn't sense anything either, actually. Looks like your own this time around. Right, no problem, I hope. Here comes justice. Let's go to statement number 4. Statement number 4. Are you certain about that? This part of the testimony is the key. I know it. Should I press him about the killer, the victim, or the noodle stand? Do you happen to remember the noodle stand? Quite well, yes. For a student of the sciences, keen observation and healthy curiosity are vital. I remember everything. I could even read the sign. I believe it said, noodle. Yes, that was it. For remembering something quite well, it sure took you a while to tell us. And thank you for telling us that a noodle stand sells noodles. Very enlightening. Well, Mr. Justice? What about that sign? Could that be important? Yeah, very important. So, the sign on the noodle stand said noodle? It appears the defense has just obtained a vital piece of testimony.
Is this noodle stand's broth really that delicious? I'll have to go sample the wares of one of these days. I think that's worth adding to the testimony as well.
Whatever sort of noodles that stand sells, you can't match up to IVU's cafeteria. Some apply to the school merely for a taste of our smart noodles. I wouldn't mind a taste of that myself. Okay. Why, I even remembered the sign on the stand the victim was pulling. It said noodle. Yeah. Let me correct that. And you're absolutely sure the sign read noodle? Why, just last week my professor offered me this praise. At least you have good eyesight, Stickler, I'll give you that. It read without a doubt noodle. I see. What? Why are you looking at me like that? Is that pity I see in your eyes? Well, let's take a look at our map, shall we? So you're claiming that when you saw the sign, you were standing. Here, was it? Although it would have been a bit hard to read the sign from this spot. You think so? Mr. Stickler, I'd like you to please take another look at the stand, and to carefully read what the sign says. See? The sign actually states the name of the stand's owner. O'Dunes. Inconceivable! I'm certain it was definitely noodle for sure. Positive. I'm afraid your professor was wrong about that eyesight. I wouldn't be so quick to jump to the conclusion. The sign he saw changes everything. The witness says the sign said noodle, but he saw it wrong. The answer is quite simple. The witness saw the sign wrong. That would seem to be the case, yes? Paulo, the only thing that changes is the witness's eyesight. Eh? Okay, so you've proven the witness has bad eyesight and is overconfident, but that just proves that he's a bad witness. It doesn't sound the case. How rude! I've not made a single mistake. I assure you, I'm a student of science. Errors are not tolerated in my field, I'll have you know. Alright, fine. He is right. In a different way. What if Mr. Stickler is right to be so confident? And if he is right about the sign, what does that mean for the entire case? What would you say if I told you that there is one spot from which the sign would be read in the way Mr. Stickler claims? What? Mr. Justice, show us this spot. The witness actually viewed in the stand from this location. Okay, this is gonna be a bit of a... Alright, the witness was standing here, on the opposite side. How do you know that? When viewed from the south, the sign on the stand reads El Dunes, as we know. However, observe the other side of the stand. Oh, this side says noodle. Exactly. The name of the stand is split between the front and back signs. Mr. Stickler, you lied to the court. You witnessed the crime from the northern side of the park, not the south. Yow, you got me. So what? So what? What does it mean what does it matter if he saw the killing from the north or the south side? It makes no difference at all. He's right, travel far enough to the south and you will end up getting north. Viewed on a global scale, directions are utterly without meaning. Yeah, as if to say, if you actually were bold enough to cross Antarctica from the south, you'd actually reach the North Pole. Yeah, that's pretty logical right there. Actually, maybe he's right. What does it change? It changes everything, Apollo. Trucy. Remember his testimony from before, though to be honest, I'm a little scared of where this is leading. The killer and the victim are facing each other here. Then at the moment the killer raises his weapon, Mr. Stickler shouts. At which the point the victim turns his head to look, and the killer fires his pistol. That's why the bullet hit him in the right temple. No contradictions, right? Right, but if Mr. Stickler was standing on the north side of the park, that reverses the whole scenario. Completely. If Mr. Stickler shouts from where he is now, and the victim looks in the direction, the bullet would have to hit his left temple. In other words, someone standing in point K couldn't shoot the victim in his right temple. It's impossible, that's right! So now we know that Mr. Stickler was standing on the northern side. The wound location takes on an entirely different meaning. Indeed, you are absolutely correct, Fraulein. What meaning? The injury wound was on the right side of the victim's head, correct? Well, the right side of the victim's head is north. North? But that's where the witness, Wesley Stickler, was standing, correct? So if he was standing to the north, then the only person here could have shot the victim in the right temple was Mr. Stickler himself. Yeah. Order! 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 Well, the apple didn't fall far from the tree. She's flipped this whole case on its head while I was still figuring it out. Clarify one point for me, if you would have, forehead. What now? Are you truly accusing this college student of murder? Well, I can't say he exactly looks innocent, but something still doesn't feel right. I just can't picture him as the real killer. No, please. Looks aside, I'm really a nice guy. All my friends say so. Let's hear what the defense has to say. What are you going to do now, Justice? Should I really accuse Mr. Stickler? Let's accuse him of another crime. He did something else. I don't think Wesley Stickler is a killer, but he's not innocent either. His unusual silence tells me that much. Mr. Stickler, you seem unusually quiet. Tell us why, now! The word confession isn't in my dictionary. Tisk, forehead. I'm afraid it falls to you to elucidate Stickler's silence. Mr. Justice, you did say you were accusing the witness just now, for a crime other than murder. Your reason? The court's all ears.
I know he's guilty of something, but what crime other than murder is there? Do I have evidence that shows his involvement in some other crime? Your evidence? The court's all eyes, Justice. Show us evidence that points into the witness's involvement in a crime.
Why, he stole this, of course. He's a dirty panty snatcher. The evidence is this! What? Is that women's underwear? Hey, those are mine! Don't look at me like that!
Order! Mr. Stickler, while I can't say this comes as a shock,
it's not what it seems. By phrasing something, it's insane. On the night of the murder, just past 9 p.m., a young girl catches a panty snatcher red-handed. Bravely, she gives chase, but the snatcher flees and hides himself in no other place but than the miraculous clinic garage. Incidentally, these panties were found in the exhaust pipe of the car there. Presumably, he was trying to hide the evidence of his crime. Ergo, while you may not be a murderer, you are guilty of panty snatching in the first degree. Please, hear me out. It's not what it looks like.
Order! Mr. Stickler, you should be ashamed. It's not what it seems.
What a sicko. Wesley Stickler? More like Wesley Sicko. So we are to understand that you were silent, not because you were guilty of murder, but because you lacked the courage to admit your theft of this girl's undergarments.
Perhaps you are not aware that my school's name was originally written IV.
Alright. I stands for intelligent. V stands for valiant. See? Your point? I'm not done. No, I'm a major in the science department. And what does in science teach if not curiosity? Yes, we of the IVU science department are valiantly curious. No challenge is too daunting, and what greater challenge is to learn a mystery? Come on, you're talking about a girl's panties here. No, you do not understand. A mystery is the unknown, and the unknown is unacceptable. And my friends, when it comes to mysteries, these panties are the promised land. From the moment I first laid eyes on them, I was compelled to investigate for science. A full-sized car tire was only the first mystery those panties revealed. A tire. Yes, I saw her do it. She pulled a tire out of in those panties. But that's not all. First there was the tire, then a stew pot, and a frozen chicken. One mystery after another. It was magic. Oh, I remember now. He's one of the regulars in the audience at the Wonder Bar. Huh? He's talking about my magic panties trick. I just don't understand. A broom from a pair of panties? It mocks the very laws of physics. A broom and a frozen chicken, Trucy. Whatever happened to doves and bunny rabbits?
Mr. Stickler, you stole this girl's panties to understand the magic trick?
You say panties, but they are so much more than that. For they are an object for serious study. I wonder, there has been a recent rush of panty snatching in the area. Were they all you? I am sorry, but I did it for science. Each time I spared, but maybe this pair, even that night, chased me through the street. Perhaps this is the night I will seize the truth. Yet what was I? For I was gonna. Oh, damn. Still, that leaves one thing unexplained. You refer to our witnesses under law, yes? The witness claimed he saw the crime from the south, but was in fact in the north. Indeed. Would anyone care to explain why you lied about that? Be my guest there for ahead. Me? Did I not hear you correctly? Did you not say you did not accuse the witness of murder? Why then did the witness lie about his location at the time of the shooting? Or have you no idea? Apollo, there's something about the way the diagram is arranged right now. When you think about it, right near where Mr. Stickler was standing, isn't there a...
Mr. Justice, what say you? Do you have any evidence to show why the witness lied about the location?
Alright. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Someone else's stolen underwear. Got it. The evidence that shows why you lied is this.
What? More panties?
How many panties are you carrying in your pocket, forehead? These are the last, honest. These were found in a trash can at the park. Looking at the diagram, we can see that the trash can was right next where the witness stood. The trash can.
Mr. Stickler, you didn't. Alas, I'm a failure as a scientist. I can't unravel the mysteries of the universe. I can't even unravel a pair of panties. So these panties are your handiwork as well? That night, I had been hounded into the Mactus Clinic garage. Reaping in frustration, I was forced to abandon my prize. Oh, you see how I felt?
Believe me, I'd rather not.
I hid in the garage for a short while, then abandoning the panties, I made for home. To avoid the office where the girl works, I went towards the south entrance. When I saw them hanging there on a clothesline by a giant mansion, a giant pair of panties. Apparently you didn't know those bloomers belonged to the mob. I had them safe in my pocket, ready to take home, when I stumbled upon a murder. The murder of Dr. Maractus. I've reported what I had seen, but as I waited for the police to arrive, I got scared. What if they searched me? That's when you disposed of the bloomers? Yes, it was a severe blow to the progress of science, but one that had to be borne. A fascinating, if disturbing tale. I believe this brings today's proceedings to a close, and I'm more than pleased to dismiss this witness for the remainder of the trial. One last thing, if I might. Yes, Prosecutor Kevin?
Regardless of where we ended today, some vital points were made. Namely, that the defendant walkie-talkie was at the scene of the crime, and he was pointing a weapon at the victim. One more thing, walkie-talkie has a clear motive.
Indeed. The defendant walkie-talkie is still the prime suspect in this case. The only suspect in fact, assuming there was no one else on the scene at the time. Yet a mystery remains. The location of the wound in the victim's right temple has yet to be explained. The court requests further investigation from both the defense and prosecution.
Yeah, baby.
No problem. Very well, this brings the trial for the day to a close. Court is adjourned!
Okay. Progress was made. That's the end of that. Alright. I believe this does it for today. Stay tuned as I raid somebody. Sure. Why not? I keep doing that. What's wrong with me? Though, in all honesty, I know she's AFK, but I have no one else to raid right now. So let's raid. Oh, ad break. Whatever, I'm gonna do it right now. It's not like I'm gonna miss anything. It's the game is it Yakuza or Like a Dragon? I can't freaking tell. Anyway, in time to raid. Anywho, I'm not sure if it's tomorrow or Monday that I'll get back to Ace Attorney, Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. Anyhow, I've been Iron Heady, and I'll see you compadres then. Keep on kicking now.